Good afternoon, church. Welcome to High Tea. I'm Katherine, Interim Associate Minister at Old South Church, and today I'm going to be talking about spiritual practices, in particular the spiritual practice of altar building. This is a great time. We're going to be spending a lot of time in our homes. It's a great time to think about your home space and where you might have a space set apart, a sacred space in your home. And you might gather there when you're watching our Sunday morning all-church worship live streamed at 10, or you might gather there when we gather for daily prayers Monday through Friday at noon. Or maybe it's a place where you'll go to pray or read scripture or do any of the things that we might do to draw closer to God. From our earliest days, humankind has had this desire to connect with God and to personally make that connection in a sacred space. Altars help us to feel God's presence, and they also help us to take a moment to stop in our hectic day and in our busy lives and to take some time to just be and to listen and to talk with God. It helps us to stop our everyday tasks, which nowadays are, who knows what those are. It's a ever-evolving sense of what our schedules and our new normal will be. So this sacred space, this physical location, can help to ground us, which we all need so much right now. So a home altar is a more personal place of worship. We're used to worshiping in church, but when we have a home altar, we can make it our own. We can personalize it with things that have deep meaning for us. So I'm going to show you a little bit of my own home altar, which I think it's a great thing if you can get the whole family involved in developing your home altar. So I talked with my partner and our son and talked about different things that had special meaning. So I'm going to walk you through it. But how do you build an altar? You can build it in so many ways. We know that Abraham built an altar out of rocks. And, others have said praying at an open window is their home altar. Jesus prayed for long periods in the night. Brother Lawrence lifted up his heart to God amidst the pots and pans in the kitchen. There are so many places that we can feel connected to God. So here's a look at our home altar. And I'm not going to go through every single piece here, but I've got some special items that I want to point out. So this is a paperweight. My grandmother collected paperweights, so this was a gift that she left to me after she passed away. It helps me to feel connected with her and with all of my forebears. I've got some nice antique books of worship here, connecting us with the liturgy and with the Word and with our other forms of worship. I've got a quote which you can't really see because of the glare, but it says, "Make a joyful noise to the Lord." So you can print up a piece of scripture that's meaningful for you. I've also got a poem here that I like to read sometimes in my sacred space. I have a candle. Always good to have all of the sights and sounds and things represented on the altar. And it can help to set that time by lighting a candle to create that sacred space. I've got a nice big rock here, really beautiful. My parents gave this to me. I've collected rocks since I was a kid, and I like to have an element on my altar that reminds me of our connection to creation. And then this is one of the more special items on the altar. This is a little framed photo of flowers, which might seem like a strange thing, but when I was growing up in my church, I had a special church lady friend, Flory Hall, who shared a birthday with me. She was only 80 years older. When she passed away, she gave everything to the church, including every little knick-knack in her home. And so we were given a chance to choose something that meant something to us. So this is what I chose from her, and I've had it with me since she passed away. And it's something that's always been on my home altar. And then I asked Elliot, my son, what was something that was meaningful for him that he wanted to put on the altar, and he chose these eggs. So yeah, they're Easter eggs, and it's actually a project that he's working on while we're stuck at home. He's making a special present for a local close friend of his. He's working really hard on this project. It involves these eggs. I don't entirely understand it, but I think it's a beautiful symbol to have on our altar, not only of his inclusion in this, and his hard work on this project for a friend, but it's also a continuous reminder that there will be a spring, there will be resurrection, there will be new life, even amidst this difficult time. So I hope you've enjoyed this insight into my home altar. I hope you'll consider building one if you don't have one already, and share some photos. Share some photos of your own home altars or your sacred spaces where you'll be gathering to pray and worship along with us. Thanks for joining me. We'll have another high tea tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and blessings to you all.